Welcome back everyone to another Company of Heroes 2 replay cast, and this time it is going to be a 4v4 on Lian Forest. It's almost like these never end. Anyway, this time it was actually sent in by Meowth, also known as Prince of Ihu. And I'm just going to be calling him that because Meowth is just annoying to say. His friend, he's also playing as the Soviets, as you can see. His friends are going to be, again, another USSR, Lieutenant Carpincho of the 69th Banana Division. Okay. Biendi Lanyen, playing as the SF, already going with the Assault Engineers, and the 2nd SS Panzer Division Das Reich. Because why the hell not? As the USF also, interestingly enough, he's playing as the Americans and as the Germans. On the opposing side, we're actually going to see Mr. Sotko playing as the Germans. Now, this guy is actually a caster. Actually going to link the channel right in the description and in the comments. I wonder if he still casts Company of Heroes 2. He used to, though. He used to quite a bit. I believe he was a little bit bigger than myself, actually. So, his friends are going to be Tiger, playing as the OKW. Hey An, and then I have no idea how you say the rest of that, but Hey An is going to be playing as the Wehrmacht, and Chesma going to be playing as the OKW. So double OKW and double Wehrmacht versus double Soviet and double USF. So no Brits are coming through. First engagement going to be happening on the left-hand side between some rear echelon troops and the engineers over here by the Germans, which are of course Sturmpows. And somehow the rear echelon troops get into the house, and they're going to be able to actually hold for a little bit, although this Sturmpioneer at close range is going to be able to finish them off most likely. And there we are. So that squad is going to go down. On the right-hand side, we're going to see a little bit of a fight between these Sturmpows and these conscripts and engineers. But that's not going to be anything too major. And so that's going to be just okay on both sides. I mean, of course, Mr. Sokol is going for a few MGs, and I'm guessing he's also going to go for a mortar, because that's going to complement his MGs quite a lot, especially in the urban environment of the left-hand side with Lian Forest. So with the support of these MGs, he's going to be able to just kind of push away the riflemen from Biendi right now, and just kind of force his way into the central left-hand side of the map along with his ally Tiger. Whereas on the right-hand side, it seems like the Allies are going to start to sort of gain the upper edge, because they do have, of course, lots of penals coming through as they are playing as the Soviets. In the early game, they're going to be enjoying quite a bit of an advantage, especially considering that it is the woods around these parts. So engagements are likely to be more focused onto close-range fights, where these, of course, penals are going to be having a big advantage over the Volksgrenadiers. But the Cube Wagon is doing its own job to kind of suppress down the penals, and right now that is working out quite okay, just kind of forcing away one of these squads. But the second squad comes in, and most likely is going to be able to force away the Cube Wagon. I mean, especially with the flanking support of this guy, the other penal battalion should be able to... Wait, where are you going? Oh, he wants to finish off the mortar, but yeah, he's going to run straight into a combat engineer squad that's going to force him away at close range. Of course, those MP40s do quite a bit of damage. But the second penal battalion comes in and forces them away as well. So overall, the right-hand side goes to the Allies, but not really as much as it could have if things had otherwise gone differently. On the left-hand side, the Germans still have their upper advantage. So of course, we do have a mortar from Mr. Sotko coming through, and there's actually a mortar from the Allies as well. So a pretty good choice by Biendi. He's going to be able to use that mortar to kind of force away the MGs, although he's going to have to be kind of scared of this Granatwerfer. He needs to find some way to deal with that. Otherwise, his own mortar is going to get countered and then not be able to really do too much. Of course, right now, here comes the Pioneers, but the Pioneers will not be able to do too much at this kind of range. Actually, the Pioneers might be able to destroy, yeah, they managed to destroy the fighting position which had been built by the Assault Engineers. So that is pretty okay, and right now on the left-hand side, it looks like this machine gun's getting flanked by these riflemen and taking quite a bit of damage. That was quite a bit of burst damage, so... yeah, the rifleman probably like threw a grenade or something. Yeah, here we have the Pineapple coming through from 2nd SS, and he's actually gonna be able to wipe out that machine gun. So a pretty good kill for 2nd SS. He's gonna have a victory on his back pocket. Although, despite that, the Germans continue to hold the left-hand side pretty much fully, and they're gonna be even more sort of secure in their hold with this battle headquarters that Tiger went for, because, well, this thing is going to allow everything around here to just kind of heal up and reinforce. Whereas on the extreme right-hand side, it seems like Carpincho, yeah, he's going to be forced away, but, I mean, the Allies are going to have a bit of an easier time over here, I feel like.
Grenadier, ready for action. Hold. Regimental HQ for mechanized units.
Oop, that is a mechanized, hold on. How the heck? I have no idea. My mouse just fucked up. Anyway, I just heard a mechanized regiment headquarters setting up at the base. Yeah, so we have Chesma, and actually, ooh, Hey An is actually going for a flame half-track. That is a very good decision. Right now in the early to mid game, the Allies don't seem to be going for any kind of AT. On the right side, the Soviets do not have a lot of, well, actually no, but these PTRSs now, they do have some anti-light vehicle. Yeah, actually quite a lot of PTRSs on this side, so not the best possible option for Aeon to send his flame half-track on the right side. But of course, he's going for the left, where I just don't see a lot of American counters. I mean, BND hasn't, yeah, he hasn't researched anything right now, so he's basically gonna have to go for the captain right now as he sees this flame half-track, but it's way too late anyway, because here comes the flame half-track, absolutely forces away all of his infantry, and now it's probably gonna wipe out that mortar, which would be a very good kill for him. There we are, he's just chasing it down, no mercy, just knows that there's no counter right now, and manages to get a kill on the border, so that's a pretty good thing for him. Of course, he doesn't have really not enough forces in the area to actually retake it for himself, but still quite good. And now he can just kind of swarm across on the left-hand side and still do a lot of damage to the American infantry. There are a couple of squads over here that are, of course, Veteran C1, so they are going to have those anti-tank rifle grenades available to them. But, yeah, things are looking quite good for the Germans with that flame half-track. And actually, the flame half-track is going to go on the right-hand side, which, as I said, might be a little bit of a dangerous move, considering how many penals are in the area with, of course, PTRSs and the satchel charges. And of course, this is the forest part of the map, so there's a lot of paths for ambushes and kind of unseen, as you can see, unseen movement like that. And there's, yeah, there goes that MG. Overall, a little bit more dangerous to send the flame half-track on this side, but yeah, it could be going a lot worse. On the left, yeah, another American push is going to be forced away. So that's just fast forward this, because so far how the game seems to be going is that there's some successes for the Allies on the right-hand side, but on the left, it's just that the Germans are keeping their sort of areas tightly under their control with a lot of MGs. They've got a good defensive line set up, some good fortifications around the battle group headquarters, and of course the Allies are trying to force into them, but they're kind of just headbutting into a very, very sturdy brick wall, and they're not really getting any results for that. So we're gonna have to see some something like this, some light vehicles coming in from the Allies for that to help out and achieve a breakthrough on the left. But right now the only light vehicle seems to be on the right for Meowth. So of course he does have a T-70, but he needs to be very careful with it. As you can see, the Panzerfaust comes in from the Volksgrenadiers, and right now, while there are a lot of Allied infantry, so the T-70 should be able to escape from this. While there are a lot of Allied infantry around, there might not be infantry for basically the entire time. And in fact, there seems to be some Panzerschrecks coming through from Heian's Panzer Grenadiers, which would be pretty bad for him. And we see that he's going to take quite a lot of damage and most likely die. He's in a very precarious spot. Although there's quite a lot of penals in the area where they might be able to force away these Panzerschrecks. And for some reason, the Panzerschrecks decide to shoot at the penals, although an excellent bundle grenade is going to basically just decimate these penals and send them packing. Will it be enough to stop the Panzerschreck still from chasing down the T-70? The T-70 is very smartly using these trees to hide itself. So T-70 is going to be able to escape and get himself repaired. That's quite good. Left side still basically under German control. Now they're going to actually go ahead and fortify this area even further with Schwer Panzer quarters and a flak half-track. But, yeah. this could not be going all that well for the Allies. The Allies do have the control of the VP right now, but it's not going to go on for forever. There goes, actually, the the flak half-track from, I believe, yeah, armor-piercing rounds by the 50 cal. So very well played by 2nd SS. Jesus Christ, that name. And yeah, he's going to be forced away. He's also gone for tactical support company. Or, no, sorry, because these two guys look basically the same, so I just mistook them. Anyway, he's gone for tactical support company. That's a pretty good choice, considering he's going to have the Calliope later on for extra support. And here comes the Flame half-track. Unfortunately for the Allies, there's still basically no counters to that. I mean, has he gone for the captain? He has gone for the captain. And he's going for a pack howitzer. So Biendi is going to be looking to get some counters to this kind of playstyle. And the pack howitzer is, of course, going to be great for that. But he's also going to need some kind of 57mm anti-tank gun just to deal with the Axis vehicles. In the meantime, there's a Stuka, actually, from Chesma. And Chesma is going to be firing at what? Most likely the fighting position. Does take it out and hits a whole lot of nothing. So I would say it was kind of a wasted first barrage. In the meantime, the T-70 is back, and it's black. It's actually chasing down and manages to force the Volksgrenadiers right into the sort of Sato charge area, and that wipes them out. In the meantime, it looks like there's actually a Panzerschreck over here, and that could be pretty bad. There goes that Volksgrenadier squad. The Panzerschrecks are forced to retreat, but there's actually a Raketenwerfer in here. Raketenwerfer, which is going to be protected by this MG42. Looks like Chesma stole an MG42 and was able to use it to actually cover his Raketenwerfer. Raketenwerfer, which is now trying to finish the T-70, which cannot retreat because of the reinforced steel barricades down here. So very good usage of that OKW unique defensive implement. And right now, as you can see, the Flame half-track is just kind of roasting these poor Soviets. Are going to be forced back into the motherland. Right now, there's also a PTRS rifle that can be stolen by these Panzer Grenadiers, thus making this Panzer Grenadier squad uniquely ineffective by having 2 PTRSs. Anyway, yeah, the Raketenwerfer 43 is in a pretty good spot over here, but it should probably be changed now that the Allies kind of know what's up. Although, yeah, staying over here with Cloak is going to be good enough, I'm guessing. Oh, there goes that utility car. So, very good usage of packs, actually, from Mr. Sacco. He's going to go for 3 packs, which is quite insane. That's a lot of packs. I'm not sure that would be the best choice for him right now, but it would definitely help him out in dealing with any kind of vehicle that the Germans, or sorry, not the Germans, the Allies could be going with, such as T-34-76s. I'm not sure why BND went for a Stuart. I feel like that's a pretty bad decision right now, although I'll explain why later. And yeah, basically, the Axis have their fortresses on the extreme left and the extreme right, which is pretty bad for the Allies, considering that they at least wanted to have the extreme right under their control. And right now, here comes the T-34-76. There it goes, the Flame half-track. That is a very, very good kill. So Carpincho going for that T-34-76 is going to be very good, because Prince Bihu, his ally, is going to be going for those T-34-85s, I'm guessing. He does have the mechanized armor Campagnia set up, and so because of this, very, very good building being set up, yeah, he's going to be able to spam out those T-34-85s and get the extra anti-vehicle firepower. But the T-34-76s being on the field right now from Carpincho are going to be helping out the Allies in the now rather than in the later. And they're going to be able to do things like this and come in and help out, although these packs are very, very dangerous. I'm guessing that they're going to do about 75% damage to the T-34 with the first volley. They do. But the T-34 stays near the area way too long. That is sad. And also, ooh, there goes a wipe on that squad. That was unfortunate. But that gives an M1919 light machine gun to the lieutenant, which is actually very dangerous, because now this guy has BAR, an M1919 light machine gun, and a Thompson. So he's actually basically as strong at anti-infantry as he could be. That's very bad. For the Germans, of course. Let's actually go over the doctrines a little bit. Hold on, though. So the doctrines. Well, we have, of course, let's start from the allies because that's where we've talked about the most. So you have a tactical support, very good for the late game. I feel like that's a good choice. It's also very good at anti-infantry in general for the M1919s that you could give to a rifleman. Armor company, a little less well off when it comes to the late game, but still some good options when it comes to the M10 tank destroyer and the bulldozer Shermans. Those are both going to help out quite a bit. Need to be careful, however. Also, the RNG artillery can be useful. Of course, guard mortar coordination tactics, a very good pick, very versatile. It's going to help him out in the late game with the T-3485s. It's helping him out right now with the guards riflemen, although he hasn't built any. He's actually decided to go with a couple of 120mm mortars. And his friend Banana Division is going to go for some shock troops, although he hasn't purchased any right now. Later on, he's also going to have the KV-8 because that's Terra Tactics, of course. And also the Precision Bombing Strike is going to be quite useful against German heavy tanks and against OKW trucks. The Germans, we already see an ability coming in from Mr. Sotko. It is a strafing run from Assault Support. Assault Support, which is also allowing him to go with some Opel Blitz trucks. Opel Blitzes coming through, they're going to help out his income quite a bit. And later on, yeah, they're going to be okay once, of course, a lot of manpower is in the bank. And he does not have anything else to do with that. Just increase his own income is, you know, a pretty good option. And for the rest of the Germans, we see a joint operation. So both the PaK-43 and the LEFH artillery gun. We see the LEFH, although it's facing the wrong way. It's facing the Axis HQ. So Heian should probably decide to target back into the center. Tiger has gone for Breakthrough. That's, of course, going to be the Jagdtiger. He's also got a very nice pick over here, the Mapakswagen and the Panzer IV. Both of these are going to be quite good. Brumbear coming through from Heian, and that's going to be very, very strong against the Allied infantry, although he needs to be very careful when he uses that around the Soviets, because if the Soviets can get some guards riflemen onto this thing and button it, and then flank it with T-34s, then that's not going to be any fun for it. And right now, ooh, interesting usage of Major. He needs to be very careful that this Major doesn't get spotted by, where is it? By this thing. Because if it does, then, you know, the Axis artillery like the Stuka can get some very good volleys off and destroy a lot of Allied infantry in a, basically a heartbeat. Right now, the Stuart is actually still alive. It hasn't really done anything, but it's actually acting as a bit of like a bodyguard for the Allied, like, chicken coop backline. Which is actually a interesting usage of the Stuart, although, yeah. I don't think it will see any interesting usage now anymore. That's very unfortunate. Anyway, T-3485s are on the field. As you can see, already getting spotted by the map packs, which is quite great. That's why I love that unit. That's a very, very, very great investment of 205 manpower. 220? 200. Oh, okay. 205. 5 fuel. So, of course, the Schwer Panzer quarters in this very, very, very advanced position is starting to die. Actually being helped by M8 Scott from 2nd SS Panzer Division, who actually has 2 M8 Scotts. So that is a very good choice against what the Germans were bringing to the table with, you know, that kind of defensive geometry type playstyle. Here comes an assault artillery that was actually quite devastating, but it's not enough. I mean, the Allies are just kind of pushing through right now. They don't care about anything and everyone. They're going to try to chase down that Sturmpanzer Brumbear, but that's a bad idea because of all these anti-tank Panzerschrecks in the area. I don't say Panzerschrecks, or sorry, not Panzerschrecks, Panzergrenadiers. I shouldn't say Panzergrenadiers with Panzerschrecks because this guy has PTRSs, which is hilarious. But yeah. Will he go down? He's not shooting at him. Why? No idea. Looks like actually the Panzer IV also died to the Jackson. It does not have a vehicle kill. but this Panzer IV most definitely died. There was a mine over here, so it might have been hit by the Jackson and then died to the mine. That would be quite interesting right now. And ooh, interesting. I'll talk about this later. So the reason why this is interesting is that now, compared to what we had before, because of the very strong play with the medium artillery on the left-hand side by the USF, the Axis is in a very precarious spot. It's losing its fortifications, it's losing its infantry, it's losing its support weapons. So if the USF can put in a lot of pressure, then the Soviets, who have some very versatile actual forces, from heavy to medium to light artillery, even to, of course, medium tanks and tank destroyers, and quite a lot of pretty decent infantry. That allows the Soviets to put in a lot of good offensive power towards the center. What is also kind of strange is that they haven't really tried to retake the right-hand side, although it seems like it was actually neutralized somehow. But yes, so I feel like the only mistake the Allies are making right now is not really focusing anything on the right-hand side. They should absolutely try to at least, oh nice, at least harass the area. But here comes, of course, the very well played ML-20. It's absolutely destroying everything. It actually demolished another Panzer Grenadier squad. That was the Panzerschreck one, which was by far... Actually, no, there's another Panzerschreck one over here. Although this one's new, as you can see by the kill count. So overall, I feel like, yeah, it could be going a heck of a lot better for the Axis, considering the early game advantage that they had. Going into, you know, the mid to late game, they're in a pretty bad spot. And right now, yeah, the 120mm mortars are going to be helping out very greatly. The Allies just have such a huge artillery advantage, and now this is going to be compounded even further, of course, by the Sherman Calliope, which is not going to be fun to deal with if you're the Germans, because, oh, guess what? You want to get your guys kind of set up into one area, getting something. Yeah, it's not going to work. Of course, the Calliope fires into an area where it was known that everything was destroyed already, so it was kind of ineffective in its first barrage. But it's fine. Looks like the Axis artillery is finally starting to get into play. Both the LEFHs, yeah, both from Fortifications Doctrine and the Joint Operations. LEFH are starting to get their shots in. What would be interesting to see is if either of these artillery pieces would be countering each other, and it looks like they are. Looks like quite a few rounds are falling onto this guy. And actually, Prince of B, who went for a Katyusha, it fired and missed, which is very sad because the Katyusha right now is a very good idea. And look at this artillery barrage, just spectacle that's falling all over the map. It's actually destroying the FPS on my PC, but yeah. Okay, tvою mать. The T-3485 is not happy about that. Anyway, looks like, yeah, it was mostly the deal with these PaK-40s and the Panzer Grenadiers, of course. But here comes a massive, like, some kind of barrage. Looks like it was a precision bombing strike that destroyed that. And yeah, the Allies just kind of keep their artillery superiority, and they also have an infantry superiority at this point because the Germans, who were relying so much on like static defense and support weapon type play, once they were forced away from their defensive positions, their fortifications, their unit types just don't really lend themselves to maneuver warfare. So right now they're in a very precarious spot where they don't really know where to put their guys, so where they're most effective. They're going to have positioning problems, whereas the more mobile, more versatile Allies can just kind of dance around them and force them into some pretty bad engagements, and of course then take the advantage as they're doing right now with both infantry and vehicles. Although there's still not really too much in the Allied arsenal that can counter this Broom Bear, although except that is the Jackson. Interesting. And the right-hand side is still Germans' territory. Like, that's kind of weird. I feel like it would be very, you know, advantageous for the Allies to send some guys here, but hey. There's actually quite a few bunkers that Chesma is building just to keep the area under lockdown. That might be a mistake. That's a lot of investment of resources into one area that you may not even have to deal with. But anyway, LEFH is probably going to destroy the ambulance. Now, why the hell the ambulance is over here, I have no idea. Interesting that that Carpincho is building a few mines in the area. And this is something that I'm actually gonna have to kind of... Ooh, damn. Yeah, of course, the Allied artillery just kind of proving itself. And Tiger, instead of going for like a big heavy tank and trying to deal with this, or trying to, you know, get the armor superiority as Mr. Sotko is doing, who was previously waiting for the Tiger. He's still got quite a lot of resources to wait for the Tiger, but he's also going for 3 Panzer IVs, so that's quite strong. Instead of doing what he's doing, yeah, he's going for a Stuka, which is, in my opinion, a mistake, because clearly the Allies have the artillery superiority. So what the Germans need to do is get the superiority in terms of something else, because it's not like by building 1 or 2 artillery units, you're actually gonna be taking that mantle away from the Allies and, you know, start to, you yourself, outshoot them. So in my opinion, it would be best for the Germans, instead of investing so many resources into artillery pieces, which can also get countered, as we saw by Allied airstrikes. Instead of investing so much into that, I feel like it would be better to go for some vehicles, just to get the armor superiority and try to win that way. Of course, Chesma, and yeah, Chesma has a lot of resources. He's going for the KT, I feel like. He's probably going for the KT. Yeah, like Chesma and, of course, Mr. Sotko are doing, but Tiger and his friend Heian have been focused a little bit more onto the artillery side of things. But she's also gone for a Panzerwerfer as well as an LEFH. So getting quite a lot of versatile guns into place. Anyway, yeah, we see that clearly the Allies are just kind of fortifying up their area, but the Germans are actually even more defensive, as we saw earlier. For some reason, they've got like this giant mess of a thing down here, and we've got, of course, the RNG artillery being called in. More Calliopes being called on the field by Das Reich. Of course, I feel like 2 is the maximum limit, or maybe that was only in a balanced patch. Maybe that was only in the balanced patch. And actually, 3 Su-85s are gonna try to fight away that Panther, but nope. Way too much Axis infantry in the area, and way too many other supporting vehicles for the Axis, so they're gonna force away these Su-85s. With 2 casualties so far, maybe even 3. And there's, of course, a Tiger coming on the field for Mr. Sotko right now. I heard that. No, that's another P4. So, who got the Tiger? Or maybe that was just the unlock of the Tiger when it comes to the CPs. Yes, that was. Anyway, yeah, because of that, actually, the Allies still kind of retain, maybe not armor superiority, but at least an even playing field. Right now, the massive pack line from Mr. Sotko is doing quite well, but, I mean, eventually it's going to get caught out by the artillery and destroyed in one fell swoop. And at that point, the Allied vehicles are just going to rush in. Right now, the Axis artillery is still kind of struggling against the Allied artillery, and as you can see, this is allowing the Allied infantry a lot of free space to come in and harass the Axis and then capture the points, which is what they're doing quite well. I mean, the Allies are down to 114 points from earlier, but now they have a double cap, so they're going to be winning slowly but surely. And here comes some Panzerwerfer. Panzerwerfer is going to miss, but destroy, actually, a pack howitzer. Oh, damn. Pack 43 just got built, and it's getting destroyed by 120mm by Prince Abihu. Those are a very, very good unit. I mean, 120mm mortars you can never really go too wrong with in team games. Although, I mean, you should probably space these out a little bit. Keeping them like that is not a good choice. Mr. Sotko is going to charge in, actually, 4 Panzer IVs onto a narrow road, which is definitely a mistake. However, from sheer force of numbers, it seems like they're going to be able to at least get some successes. So that's quite good for them. I still feel like trying to flank around might have been a better choice for them, but yeah, they're going to be able to destroy this fighting position, destroy everything over here. And this is going to It's kind of opened up the path for more German infantry to come in and capture these points on the left-hand side. That's just kind of my 2 cents on that, but it doesn't seem like the Germans are too ready to make any kind of maneuvers right now. This is kind of a big problem for them. They need to do something about that. They need to be more mobile. They need to be counterattacking the Allies even further, and that's absolutely a fact. Otherwise, they're going to start to lose. Oh damn, more artillery falling down on the center fortification buildings. Yeah, eventually those are just gonna get completely destroyed. This is, in a way, a bit of a blessing in disguise for the Germans, because it's kind of showing them, kind of telling them, hey, you can't really just kind of turtle up in one area and expect that that's gonna work out. You need to actually get off your ass and move, which is kind of what they're doing, and that's gonna help them out very, very greatly later on. Another P4 for Mr. Sacco, so he's gonna go for the spam P4s instead of waiting for the Tiger, which in my opinion would have been a good choice, considering, I mean, he's now at pop cap, so he's kind of forced to wait for resources now. But he does have 5 Panzer IVs, which is a very, very scary little force, especially once it gets some veterancy. That's gonna be very, very strong. And yeah, as you can see, even more artillery coming through for the Allies, absolutely just demolishing every German infantry unit that has ever existed. And T-34-76 is going to clean up the Axis troops, as well as the 120s, which are still kind of raining down death, although one of the 120s got destroyed, looks like by a Stuka barrage. And right now, the Axis have a interesting VP lead. They've got a triple cap going, and yeah, the Allies are down to 89 points. So that's just slightly over a minute. They need to do something. And finally, Lieutenant Carpincho has decided that he wants the right-hand side under his control. He takes out an MG with his 4 Pinot Blob, and now, yeah, he's going to be able to flank this machine gun a little tiny bit. And hopefully, with his PTRSs, destroy the bunkers and take the points. The left-hand side is captured by some lieutenant guys, which is, of course, going to be quite good enough because of all the M8A1s that are going to be defending the area. The center, however, is still the kind of the Jolly Joker. Nobody knows what's going to happen here, and yeah, there's not a lot of Allied infantry in the area that can cap. The Panzer IVs once again tried their sort of charge of the medium brigade right up the narrow alley, and right now this time it's not going to go as well as last time because of the support of this Su-85. There's a T-34-85 here, there's some T-34-76s, there's M10s. Yeah, it's just a gauntlet of fire that the Panzer IVs don't want to walk into. As you can see, yeah, they're all going to go down probably, although maybe this one's going to be able to escape. There we are. In fact, this one escaped, but yeah, everybody else that was sent in decided to die. I mean, they didn't really decide to do that, but, you know, they did die in the end. And right now, the packs are being pushed in to kind of delay. I feel like this was actually a delaying action, but yeah, this is what I said was going to happen, right? They got cut out by the artillery eventually. Not all of them, very luckily, but 2 of them. So now the pack line is dead. Long live the pack line. And just at 25 points, the Allies are going to be able to neutralize the left-hand side VPs and take the center. So, yeah. There's also a Jagdtiger on the field for Tiger. And it's going to run into 8 PTRSs. So, of course, that's not really doing too much, but with the help of the Allied vehicles in this sort of backline, yeah, the Axis armor isn't going to be able to do too much. I mean, here comes the Tiger, but there's really no infantry support coming through for the Axis tanks. And if we can see even more, you know, infantry support coming through for the Allies, which we are seeing right now, This is not going to go down well for the Axis vehicles, as you can see. There goes Heian's Stück. And here comes another potentially devastating barrage from somebody. Looks like didn't really potentially devastate anything. Yeah, well, rip. Anyway, ooh, here comes the Tiger a little bit into the fire. This could be very dangerous. Of course, it's actually supporting the Jagdtiger by kind of soaking up the shots, and the Jagdtiger, very unfortunately, the Tiger actually eats a destroyed engine, or actually no, heavy engine damage from a ram. And right now, there's a bit of a fight over the left-hand side over who's going to capture this, which could be very crucial because right now, as you can see, the Allies are down to 22 points, and the middle part is neutralized because, interestingly enough, somebody used a propaganda war. So that kind of forced away everybody. There we are, that's the propaganda war. The Axis Panzer IVs are coming into the backline and to destroy a Katyusha. They've also got the number of both of the tank destroyers and the Sherman Calliopes. In the meantime, in the center, the Allied armor is being completely crushed here. So it's not really working out all that well for them. Here comes also a Stuka barrage, and there's 12 VPs left for the Allies, although left-hand side is going to be captured by the Sherman most likely. Get your guys out of there and capture. You can get your crew out, and the right-hand side has been captured finally by Carpincho using a smoke grenade equipped shock troop and the destruction of those bunkers. Overall, the center is back under Axis control. The Calliopes are dead. The Panther's going to try to chase down with a blitz, and it's probably going to get the kill off. So all the Allied vehicles are dead. Left-hand side is finally being captured by the Major, actually, without the Sherman crew getting out. That's absolutely not what it should have happened, but oh well. And the Allies are going to save themselves by 3 VPs. Interesting. How are the Axis not winning yet? I mean, how are the Allies going to win? Or how are they going to lose? Well, there's many ways in which they can lose. I mean, they've just lost a massive engagement where all of their armor has been completely pulverized. But they've still got their infantry advantage, and their artillery is all gone. So without their armor and without their infantry their artillery advantage, can the infantry pull through and win this? Well, the Axis still have 282 VPs, but they have absolutely no infantry units of their own. Let's actually make a comparison. I mean, there's 1 infantry squad, 0 infantry squads for Chesma. I mean, of course, we can count the Sturmpios. So 1 for Chesma, 2 for Heian, 4 for, is this Volksgrenadier? Yes, it is. 4 for Tiger, and 3 for Mr. Sotko. Oh, damn. Yeah, I was about to make a comparison and say that there's a lot more Allied troops, but this just changes things a little bit. Excellent Panzer barrage. Panzer for 42 from Heian. 49 kills. Absolutely amazing play from that. And actually, the Allies have a triple cap right now, and the Axis are feeding troops in and getting demolished. That's kind of sad for them. They don't want that to happen at all. Interesting Shuka barrage. Absolutely wipes out an engineer squad.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Wait, what?
The enemy is taking one of our forward buildings.
Did that kill? No, it did not kill the squad. It's always funny whenever, like, stupid things like that happen. Like, there's an S-minefield on the retreat path or something. S-minefields are just, like, weird. Anyway, yeah, if this lieutenant had been shooting at the grenadiers all the time, it would have won that fight. But it didn't. Oh, God, that's actually a wipe on that, like, mega lieutenant. That was the lieutenant with the M1919, the BAR, and the Thompson. So that's a pretty bad loss for, I think that was Heian. No, sorry, that's BNV, the other Chinese guy. That's pretty bad. But yeah, overall, The Axis did not use their moment of like advantage to do anything. Where did the Jagdtiger go? I've just realized, what the heck happened to the Jagdtiger? I have no clue. It clearly died somewhere, but I have no idea what happened to it. Like, how did it die? Anyway, nice German push on the left-hand side, actually. This is going to be quite useful for them. They need to find some way to get some VPs, of course. Otherwise, in 3 minutes, they're going to die. Bad death. But Das Reich actually is tactical support because he's got strafing runs. And of course, he's got Sherman with HE rounds. That's very, very underrated sort of purchase in the late game. The Sherman can just be very strong in massacring infantry. And right now, this Stuka is going to die. Rip. So right now, the Allied infantry is still kind of just... oh, damn. Poor Lukes. This was a good purchase by Chesma, considering what the Allies are bringing. But, of course, he kind of forgot to send it on the right side of the map. Needs to send this on the left-hand side, because on the right-hand side, there's just way too many penals with PTRSs. Anyway, yeah, the Axis right now just can't deal with the infantry. There's just way too many infantry troops just kind of swarming across. And there comes a very nice turn of events for the Allies. They're going to be able to destroy both Stukas. So not only the Allied artillery is out of action, but also the Axis artillery has been mostly neutralized. Looks like the Terminator Panzerwerfer also died at some point. Man, I've missed all the important deaths in this game. What the heck? Anyway, yeah, things are going very well for the Allies. Of course, there's a Tiger now on the field again. And there's also another Panzerwerfer. Never mind. It charges in against the T-34-76. Okay, interesting. And here comes an interesting zeroing artillery from Chesma. This is not a good choice because you do not see what's here. Zeroing artillery fires more rounds the more you see an area. So you want to fire it on like static, well maybe not static, but definitely big sort of semi-static targets that you can keep them spotted. So that you can keep them spotted and just kind of demolish them over time. So of course the Tiger's on the field. It's not gonna be fun for the Sherman nor the M8 howitzer mortar carriage. But at least the Sherman and the M8 howitzer mortar carriage are gonna be able to just smash the infantry. And no infantry equals no capture of the points. Damn. Here you see the power of that M1919 upgrade for these riflemen. And here comes, of course, an 240mm howitzer barrage, the RNG artillery. Actually, no. That was a strafing run. The RNG artillery is still in this area, though. Here it comes. So anything in this circle needs to be very careful. Because it might have just landed over there and wiped out all the riflemen. So that's why you need to be very careful. And yeah, the triple cap is still going for the Allies. Now there's 2 minutes for the Axis to take just at least 1 point. And I feel like Mr. Satko's Grenadiers have a lot of weight on their shoulders. They need to do, you know, all the heavy lifting because he's the only one with infantry. I mean, fucking Heian also has infantry, but it's all back at base. Chessman doesn't have anything. And Tiger does have infantry, but it's all back at base. So I have no idea why the Axis really aren't building more infantry and, you know, not beaming it a little bit more. Because really it is the infantry that's making the backbone right now of the Allied forces. Excellent Stuka barrage, but it's not going to be enough because of the shock troops just being absolute murderers. With those Papashas, they managed to basically find their targets and destroy everything there. There's still a bit of a German push for the center. The Allies, however, have a bit of a, you know, a bit of an answer. The Calliope absolutely destroys one squad, forces away another one, and the third one is very heavily damaged. So now that the allies have a little bit of a window of opportunity, sorry, they can just kind of come in and take care of that with their normal infantry.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
And the Tiger's coming in and trying to do something, but it's gonna be basically forced away by all of these TDs because the allies have absolutely no shortage of anti-tank in this sort of position, and that's what they're gonna make use of. Of course, the Tiger is right now in a pretty bad precarious spot. It should retreat, and unfortunately, it's gonna show its sort of side to rear armor, and that's not gonna be all that great because the M10s are gonna be like, "Thank you very much," and destroy it. And yeah, I feel like that's gonna be the end because the Axis just don't have any infantry. I mean, as you can see, they're trying to come in here, but riflemen are gonna murder that guy, execute him for treason. And yeah, here comes the Stugs trying to help, but all that they're gonna basically accomplish is die to the M10s. There goes one of them. And the second one is only gonna get saved by the Panzer IVs over here. But once these Su-85s come in, they're gonna die. As well as with the support of the riflemen from BNB. Yeah, there it goes. And Triple Cap is back on track. So overall, I feel like the Axis getting destroyed, of course, by the Allied artillery and the Allied infantry, first and foremost. After their very great single push, they just weren't able to capitalize on that. And it just kind of goes to show you, if you're going to have a just massive offensive onto one sort of moment, if you're going to concentrate all your eggs into one basket, make sure that then you can have some kind of follow-up and capitalize on the opportunity, because otherwise you're just going to have wasted all of your sort of preparations for nothing. And yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. I realize that I sound like I'm about to die, but it's okay. I'm not all that dead. If you have enjoyed the game, of course, drop down a like. If not, you can drop a dislike, I guess. Also, as always, if you want your replay to be casted, there's going to be the link down in the description for my email. You can send the replay files over there from user documents, playback, documents, my games, company fears 2, playback, and then you select the file. So yeah, I'll see you soon.